everyone. Welcome to another episode of DCS Debrief. I'm Koosh. It's actually episode 3. It's going to be a little different this time. I don't have any of my in-game video. I forgot to record it, so we're just going to be going over some scenarios that I was recently in to talk about the engagements. The first one here, as you can see, is going to be with Fresh Can. He's flying F-16C. We'll get right into this first one, as he wasn't too happy about what had happened with the AMRAAM, so we'll get into that with what happened here. So he's about 23 miles away when he takes this shot. He's flight level 300. Honestly, no arguments with the shot. He had good aspect with me, good closure, so well within range. Might have been actually in zone from his altitude and aspect with the closure. So honestly, good shot all the way around. We'll move in. I can't really see what happened on my end at the time of launch if he did a track well scan. I think he may have. I'll have to get with him about that because I don't really pick it up here for a few more seconds, and you'll see me dispense countermeasures and maneuver as appropriate. The missile coming in, it's starting to drop down, going into its terminal phase of flight, and I'm starting to chaff here. Let me pause it, go into a slightly different view, and you can see how this angle is coming out here. Let's zoom in here. Look at this. This is coming in pretty high. One thing in real life, if you're attacking a target that's moving very fast and you have a very high angle of attack, it's going to be harder to hit that target, and it may be a little bit here. A little bit issues with that. Also with chaff, which is going to affect the missile. And because I wasn't trying to target anything at this time, I just went to barrage countermeasures jamming. I was not in radar. I gave all the power to the barrage jammer, and I think that created the miss distance we needed. So you see it come down here. It's a very, very steep, very, very steep. And it just slightly misses into the terrain there. So honestly, it was a decent shot. It just had a little bit not going in his way. So that's what happened there. We'll go back to world view and continue this engagement. All right. As you can see here, I start to pick him up now. On my radar, I don't have anything but GCI this far out. I had no GCI, so just totally based off my radar and the shot, I knew someone's out there. And I was pretty deep in enemy territory. Not typically recommended with a Mirage to do this. So step forward here. About 14 miles out. I'm starting to close. I can see him coming back around. He's trying to get off another shot. He knows he didn't get good impacts here. I'm cruising because I know I need to close this distance so I can get my shot off. Random 120 coming in the picture. No idea where that came from or who that was targeted at, and it's kind of just sails off into nothingness. Zoom in here, 9 miles out. He takes another AMRAAM shot. Again, not a terrible shot. We're both low, both fast. Again, so here, let me stop here. I'm actually, let me rewind it a tad. All right, play. So he takes a shot at around 9 nautical miles with an AMRAAM. Totally good shot. At the time he takes that shot, I take my shot and dispense. So I see him. He's really close. So this is a little bit of a gamble on my part to get off my shot. I keep it in a radar jamming mode on the Mirage, which is only going towards that target for energy. I'm also dispensing chaff because that's the only thing I can really do right now. I want to try to make this shot work. And for all intents and purposes, it's a good shot, but FreshCan did something really good here as this missile closes in. As you saw, his 120 just, again, went wide. I kind of prayed to the gods there on that one. 530's coming in. We'll pause it here. We'll get a little bit closer. Oh, it just... So you probably saw what happened. It actually impacted terrain. So he got down low, and the missile impacted terrain. We'll just show that real quick. Back that up. That was a little much. I just come in. I think this 120 that came from nowhere picked up on fresh scan, but again, that missile had no chance either. Yeah, impact into terrain, so good move from him. You get the terrain masking. That's going to stop everything, right? Radar on the target is going to go away, and actually physically putting something between yourself for the actual kinetic kill. And unfortunately for him, I kind of had visual with him just go below it was kind of a little bit of a hill. It wasn't really a mountain per se. But saw him come around, picked him up visually, switched to my my 550, which is my Magix, and that was it for him. He was not very happy as those two AMRAAMs did not kill me. The first one, I thought it was a good shot overall. The angle as it came down, I think, combined with the barrage jamming and the dispensing of chaff, I think just was a little bit too much for the distance. So I think this was what happened there. And that second shot, again, it was a good shot, good closure for both. Again, combination of chaff and me trying to maneuver to get the kill on him. I think it was just a little bit enough for the AMRAAM to not track properly. It was, again, a gamble on my part. I didn't go into barrage, which would have helped me out a lot. So I was a little bit fangs out at that moment, and it happened to pay off for me. So it was a little bit of a gamble. So fresh scan, not anything really terrible on the shots, honestly. But after that terrain mask that you did there, I was able to pick you up for the BFM kill with the IR missile. So honestly, good job overall. I thought the shots were great. All right, going into this next engagement, it's going to be with Fletch 1-1 and myself. Shadow 1 was there. I was flying with him. He had just taken a JF-117 and another F-16 column lock. So 3 F-16s kind of in and around Fletch 1-1. And we'll go into this engagement as he's about to fire 2 120s at both Colin and Shadow. I thought both shots honestly were pretty good. Quick successive shots on both aircraft. He had the altitude, he had the closure. Shadow 1-1 does a really good job of dispensing and getting out of the way of this missile and trying to put the terrain in between them, which he does. That missile is trying to track where he's going to be, and it doesn't do it, and it goes right into the terrain. And the one shot at Colin, again, good shot. Colin didn't really do too much there to get out of the way, and got him dead. So let's back it up a tad because I took a terrible shot, and I want to get into it. So we'll zoom in a tad. So he's starting to turn away from me. So the closure isn't the best. The distance, it's an okay shot, the distance, but the problem is I'm really low and he's high. So we'll get into what happens here. So he's dropping now. So my initial shot, which would have been okay, is now terrible because now it's going to try to track him into the terrain. So that was a bad shot on my part. I go to take another shot after realizing that was such a terrible shot. Second one goes out. Still low. He's about the same altitude as me. He is doing everything he can. He does a really good job dispensing, trying to get low, get speed, and really it just runs out of legs in the end there. It had no chance. So 2 really bad shots on my part. So I'll take the hit on that. That was pretty bad. But at the end here, it's just me and Fletch. He took out one of them, and my boy Shadow, he's just kind of trailing behind. So I'm still keeping on him. I'm determined to get this kill. Maneuvering down, I can start to see him turn. I'm pretty much visual with him at this point. I see him start the turn. I anticipate this. I drop my tanks there just to get a little bit more maneuverability there. And here, we'll go into his shot here. This is a really, really not good shot on his part, but it's kind of a reactionary shot. So I know he's coming back around. I'm setting myself up for getting to the BFM with him. And He's coming over. I'm assuming he mad dogged it. I got nothing, and it just sailed right by. Honestly, he had no chance. It was very close. He's dispensing because he doesn't know what's about to happen. We'll zoom in a little bit here. He's dispensing. I'm dispensing because I'm trying to deny any type of IR shot. And I'm assuming he's got 9Xs into the scissors. Come around. I jerked my power back because I want to get behind him. I did. Once this happened, it was pretty much all over for him. After this 9X shot that I take, I was about to transition to guns at this point. But it was a good Fox 2. Very, very close distance and quick kill there. So honestly, rating myself on this engagement, honestly kind of poor from the beginning. At the end, I mean, good results. I mean, it is what it is. But having better spatial awareness on my part of, hey, when to take that shot, knowing, oh, hey, he's actually dropping down. If I take this shot, my missile's going to have to go down and try to get him. But being at this lower altitude in the mountains, it had no chance. I went right to the mountains. And then I followed up with a second shot, which wasn't the best because the closure was not there. He was just opening up. So really not good shots on my part on those both Fox 3s. But once we got to BFM there, it was pretty much over for him. He pulled in a little bit too tight. I slowed down just enough, pulled in over him, and got the nose, and got the 9X kill. So that was that. All right, the final thing I want to talk about today is something that actually pisses me off, and this shit needs to stop. Just being fucking toxic to be toxic. Set the stage. I was able to shoot down a guy with a Fox 1 shot, Super 530. And it is what it is, right? You die, you respawn, and it's a game. Go on. What you see here is this guy named Wolf, who is the guy I shot down, spawns on my team in a Mirage just to do this. And I'll play this for you now. So what he did, basically I'm living in his head rent-free, and he's very salty. So what he decides to do, I don't know why. And anyone who does this needs to be perma-banned from the Growling Sidewinder stream because it's annoying to deal with. He turns just to ram me right before I start taxing, just because. Don't worry, I took its in. But yeah, that shit needs to stop. So if that's you, you're an asshole, and don't do this. It's just a game. All right, it's just a game. All right, with that, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.